Hey guys, welcome back to another Managing 4 tutorial. And in today's video, I'm showing you how to create a jump scare in which the ghost will spawn in front of the player, play an animation, and then disappear. So it just gives them a nice little jump scare. And it's going to look something like this. So when we're walking down the corridor, you'll get to a certain point, you'll get the sound effect that will spawn in there, play that animation, and disappear. And also you can customize this to be however you want, so they can be closer to you, they can play a different animation, they don't have to play an animation, they can just spawn there, disappear, stay there for longer, be there for a short amount of time, completely customizable for you, however you want. So I'll show you how to do this now. So our first step is we're going to be using our female Ghost 1 blueprint, which is an AI kind of thing that we made before, but literally all it is just our ghost in a blueprint here so we can use it. So all we've done is duplicated our third person character and then put our ghost mesh in here instead. Now I did do this in a previous video if you want to go watch that as well, which will be a lot more in depth of how to do this, but it's literally just duplicate that blueprint and change the mesh over. That's all I did. And don't worry about this animation here, again that's from a different tutorial. We're not going to be using this in today's one, we're going to be changing this around, so don't worry about that. But we're not actually going to be going into this at the moment, so we can just close that like so. So the next what we want to do is we want to import our animation that we want to use. So for me, I'm going to be using this ghost scream here. So what you can do is just drag and drop it in, and I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. I'm not going to be doing that right now, as I've actually just retargeted this instead of downloading it, as I did it slightly differently. But you just download it and drag and drop it in here to import it. Once you've done that, we're going to right click on it, create anim montage, and then hit enter like so. And if you open it up, you can see that we just have this animation here like so. If you want to speed it up, you can change this rate scale. So I set it to 2, it's going to be a lot faster. Set it to 1.3, a little bit faster like that. So you can just mess about with that to get it how you want. We save and close that. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to put in a box trigger here. So you can see I already searched it there. What we're going to do is we're going to get a box trigger, and this is just essentially where the player is going to be for it to trigger this. So on the top left up here, we just search for box trigger here, and just drag and drop into the level like so. Now I want it to be as I'm walking down this corridor, so I've got my player spawning there. So I'm walking down the corridor, I want it to spawn. So I'm just going to put this box collision here, scale it up to get to the size that I want it to be at. If you're scaling it through the walls, make sure it doesn't come out the other side, as you'll be able to clip it there. But for me, I'm not going to be able to go there, so that doesn't matter for me. But just make sure it's careful for you. Once you've done that, what we're going to do is go to blueprints at the top and then open level blueprint like that. And this is where we're going to be doing all the code. So once you're in here, if you just, with the box trigger still selected, which it is for me, if you just right click in here and get a begin overlap. So add on actor, begin overlap for trigger box there. Out of the other actor, we're going to cast to our character. So for me, that's third person character. For you, this could be first, third, or if you've named it. The reason we're doing this is because then this means that our character is going to be triggering this when they overlap it. If like an AI overlaps or something, this won't be triggered. So that's how we're going to do that there. After this, what we're going to do is we're going to spawn actor from class like so, with the class being our ghost 1 BP, or just your AI blueprint for this enemy or this ghost or this jump scare that you have. Spawn transform, we're going to right click that and split structure pin. Now to get these values here, what we're going to do, we're going to make this a little bit smaller like so, and we'll just find it there like this, and then if we just drag in our blueprint here, we can find out where we want this to be. So if we just rotate this as well, we can get this to be perfectly how we want. So for me, the player is going to be here when it spawns, so I think there is going to be a good position for me. So what we're going to do is over on the right here, you can see we have the location, rotation, and scale. We're just going to copy those over. So for me, the X is 130, let's call it. The Y is 1300, and the Z is 226. Again, make this perfect for you. This is just how you do it. The rotation, X is 0, Y is 0, Z is minus 180, and the scale is 111 for me. So that's where I want that, and I can just delete the blueprint from here, like so, and maximize this again. So what this is going to do is it's going to spawn in this blueprint in that exact location and rotation that we want it in, like that. Out of the return value, what I want to do is play anim montage, and this is going to be playing that animation that we made earlier. Anim montage is going to be our ghost screen montage there, like so. At the return value, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down D, left click, get a delay, plug the executable in there like that, and then you can just plug the return value into the duration there, but when I was testing this out earlier, that didn't look too great as it finished the animation and then did it. I want it to be a more smooth transition. So what I found was if I came out the return value, I got a float minus a float, like that, and I minused 0.4, and then put down the delay, what this is going to do is 0.4 seconds before the montage fully finishes, it's going to go away. And that obviously looked a lot better for me. So just mess about with that to get it perfect for you, but it will probably be something around this as well. And then after this delay, what I want to do is I want to just come out the return value of this spawn actor again, and I just want to destroy actor. So destroy actor like that, meaning that this blueprint, this actor will then be gone and we won't be able to see it anymore. And then what we also want to do is delete the box trigger, so we can't then trigger this again. If you want to be able to trigger this again, you don't need to do this step. It's very simple. What we do is just select the box trigger in the level, so trigger box there, drag and drop it into the level blueprint, and then just plug that into the target if there's a story actor as well. And then it's going to delete both the AI and the box trigger. Now this code should work. Although actually I missed one thing. If you want to play a sound, what I'm going to do is just move all this out. So from the spawn actor, move that out. In between the cast and spawn, what I'm going to do is play sound 2D. Plug those in there like that. Then the sound, I'm going to be getting the jump scare sound effect, which again is from my previous video, but I'll also link this in the description down below. If I then open this advanced settings, I'm going to set the start time to 0.4, as again, I want to just cut out part of the start of this, so it just cuts straight into the sound. So then if we compile, save, this should be it all done. So if we minimize this, hit play to test it, let's see if this works. So you saw there, this is working, but we missed one step. So what happened there was we got into the trigger, it spawned, it didn't play the animation, but then after the animation would have finished, it despawned. And now we can't trigger this again. But one step we missed was actually allowing this character to use animation montages. So we can do that very simply. In our content browser here, if we just right click, go to animation, animation blueprint, and then the skeleton is going to be our ghost skeleton there. Hit OK, I'm just going to call this one Ghost BP. Now if you already have an animation blueprint for this, open that up. You don't need to make a new one. I'm just going to open this up like so. In the anim graph here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a slot, default slot, and plug that into the result there. And then just in front of this, just to make it look a bit better for me, I'm going to put my walking animation there as well. So just plug that in there. Again, you can make this an actual animation blueprint if you want. I do have a video on that. And also if you already have an animation blueprint, just make sure you're using the slot default slot, as this is what allows us to use animation montages. So we compile, save, and we need to make it so the ghost uses this. So we minimize this and open up our ghost blueprint again. What we do is select the mesh, and here under animation, we change animation mode to use animation blueprint, and the anim class is going to be our ghost BP that we just made there. I should have called it ghost anim BP, but I forgot. So that still works. So we compile, save, and if we test this again, this should look a lot better. So as you saw there, what happened was he walked in, it played the sound, the ghost spawned, played the animation, and despawned afterwards. And now it did go back to doing the walk animation afterwards. The reason for that is, if we go back to our level blueprint here, into this delay, I realize I have now sped up the animation montage. So this 0.4 isn't as valid. So if I set this to be 0.7, we'll see how this looks. So as you can see there, it finished the montage, but then played the walk animation and then despawned. If we just increase this delay, that should look a lot better. So you see it's going to spawn in, and then it will still start a bit, and then leave. So you just mess about with this, increasing it each time, till you get it perfect for you. And again, this is how it is fully customizable. You can change absolutely anything you want on this. So that looks a lot better. So like I say, customize it to how you want. You can change the sound effect, where it spawns, the animation it plays, how long it plays for, if you want to trigger it again afterwards. All of this good stuff is very easy to customize to get it perfect for you. And again, with this, you can change how long it's on screen for before it disappears. If it disappears, it can just actually stay there so it can spawn and then carry on attacking or anything like that. This is just how we do it. So I think that'll be it for this video, as we've done everything we wanted to do. We've created a simple jump scare in which the ghost will just spawn in front of you, play an animation, and then despawn afterwards with a nice sound effect in the background as well. So again, that's quite quick, but customize it for you. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, make sure to like and subscribe down below. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.